Thank you so much for watching or listening to the Jesus Family Orientation Series. This is episode 6. In the last 2 episodes, we talked about 2 of the main expressions of the Jesus family. We talked about family dinners and family serve days. In this episode, we are talking about the 3rd main expression of a Jesus family, and those are Jesus family reunions. Now, a family reunion is when 2 or more Jesus families get together, and that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. We're going to try to answer, what's the point? What are some examples? And what actually happens? So first, what's the point of a Jesus family reunion? Well, think about it like a family reunion, which is why we named it a family reunion. What's the point of a family reunion in your family? Well, if you've got extended aunts and uncles and cousins from all over the place, and you kind of lead separate lives and you don't see each other that often, every once in a while, you want to get together for a family reunion, and the point is to just be together, to enjoy each other's company. Think about a Jesus family reunion in the same way, because family is important. So think of it as a reunion, as a wedding. Don't think of it as a funeral. Sometimes people have experiences of church services, and it feels like it's more of a funeral where everyone has to be quiet and reverent. No, we intentionally designed this to be fun because it is a reunion. It's a wedding. It's supposed to be something where everyone enjoys and actually wants to come to. And the point of a family reunion, besides just getting together, is it's a great opportunity to actually invite someone else. You may know of someone who, it's a coworker or a friend or a neighbor, and, they haven't been to church in so long, or they're new to faith, or they're not even sure about what faith is, and the idea of coming over to someone's house and actually, doing a dinner at someone's house, that might actually freak them out. But depending on where your family reunion is, it could be an easy way to say, hey, we're meeting at the park, or we're just hanging out, or we've got inflatables for the kids, or whatever it is. A Jesus family reunion is a perfect opportunity to invite someone who might have heard about a Jesus family but hasn't tried one out yet. It's kind of a test drive for them. So family reunions are designed for you to invite others to as well who might want to know more about it. So that's why they're important. Now, what are some examples? A lot of it depends on what your Jesus family makeup is and how close you are to other Jesus families. For instance, if your Jesus family and other Jesus families around you are primarily adults, with no kids and no need for childcare, well, then your family reunions may be dinner at someone's house, or maybe you're meeting out somewhere for dinner, or maybe you're meeting out in town and you're doing something together. If there's another Jesus family in town and it's just a cross-town thing, well, then that's going to be a lot easier to get together once a month to enjoy, the company and the encouragement of another Jesus family. If you've got kids, well, then that changes things. It might need to be in a local park. You might need to rent inflatables. You might need to do a couple other things to entertain the kids. And if you're at that stage and you've just got kids, then all you really want to do is just get some inflatables for the kids, and you just sit in a lawn chair and just breathe for a couple of hours. So what actually happens at a Jesus family reunion is going to be different depending on the makeup of your Jesus family. If you've got several Jesus families in town, it could happen on a regular basis. If you're the only one in town and there might not be another one for a couple hours away, well, then your family reunions may only happen a couple of times a year. But it's, hey, on this Saturday, we're actually going to drive a couple hours. We're going to meet in the middle. We're going to do something together. So some examples are going to change depending on your makeup and how many other Jesus families are around you. But it is a family reunion, so just think about it through that lens. So those are some examples of a family reunion. The last question is, what actually happens? Okay, so you eat and you hang out. What's the point? I mean, because every family reunion should have food. That's important. Fellowship, hanging out and actually doing something, which is why our suggestion is not just going and watching something together. Like if you wanted to go and watch a movie, or if you wanted to go and watch a ball game, you're not interacting face to face. The point of family reunions is actually hanging out. So think of an activity or space where you can actually be interacting with each other. So what actually happens is you eat, you hang out together, and you have fun. Again, this is a celebration. And some things that you can do at the family reunion, and it doesn't have to be a big program, doesn't have to be an official thing, but some very important things that you can weave in to a family reunion is first to share stories. One of the greatest things you can do, because you're interacting with the Jesus family that you don't normally interact with, is hear their stories. and allow them to hear your stories, because God may be doing something in your Jesus family that'll encourage them, and vice versa. And so you can share stories of what God is doing in your Jesus family to hear encouragement. Maybe your Jesus family has just gotten up and running, or you're a little discouraged, and God can use another Jesus family to really pour into you. So share stories of life change, of what God's doing, and depending on how closely you're located, other Jesus families. And if you want to do family serve days together, maybe you've got 3 or 4 in your community, and you want to share some resources to actually do something bigger for the community than just individual families. You can do that. You can share stories and share generosity while you're at a family reunion. Another great thing to do at a family reunion is baptisms. If you have someone, or if you know of someone that wants to get baptized, what better way to do it, to celebrate it, than at a family reunion? And and we'll talk more about this in future episodes and kind of the how-tos and all that stuff. But with the baptism, think of it as the first century. In the first century, they didn't have a quiet baptistry pool located in an air-conditioned room with a whole bunch of Christians just watching on. They got baptized in the creek or in the river, which is where everyone went down to get their water, which is where everyone went down to wash their clothes. I mean, and feed the animals. Like it was everyone was there. So a public place like a park would be a great place to hold a baptism. So maybe there's a local church around, they can let you borrow their portable baptistry. Maybe there's a farmer nearby that's got a huge trough. Maybe you're at a park near a creek and you just go into the water there. Or you're at someone's house and they've got a pool. You could celebrate baptism and celebrate life change together. That's a great, great thing to do at a family reunion. And the last thing you could do would be to make a short pitch. Don't even call it a sermon. Don't even call it a speech. It's just a short pitch. For those who are new or those who are checking it out, make a short pitch about what the Jesus family is. What are we all about? Talk about your relationship with Jesus. Talk about how the Jesus family comes from Acts 2:42. Maybe talk through the 6 Jesus family commitments, FAMIL and Y, and then invite them to a family dinner. So those are family reunions. Remember, it's designed to be enjoyable, and it's designed to remind you why you're doing all this. Why you're giving up your nights or your weekends to help others, and why you're giving up resources to serve others, because there's nothing more important than family. And this Jesus family is making a difference. It's making a difference in your life, and it's making a difference in someone else's life. And every once in a while, it's important to pause long enough to remember that and remind yourself of what's really important. And that's what Jesus family reunions are all about. In the next and final episode of this Jesus Family Orientation Series, we are going to try to give you some information and some tools and some training for those of you who are helping to take leadership roles to help start Jesus families. How can we help you in the next and final episode on Lead Servants? Thanks for watching or listening.